Okay, guys, I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing as best as I can. This is a young Presa Canario that we are doing IGP or Schutzhund training with. And if you know anything about Schutzhund, that you know that Schutzhund is a game of drive transitions. So here what I'm doing with this young dog is I'm showing him two different pictures. There's the picture where he must guard and he must show aggression and dominance and power and bark. And then there's the picture where he must bite, okay? Now, the problem with IGP and where a lot of dogs fall apart in IGP, especially dogs like this that are Mollisers or Mastiffs, they fall apart because they do not transition drives very well. They either work very well in prey or they work very well in defense or aggression, and they cannot transition between those drives. And IGP is a game of drive transitions. There is a phase where the dog must guard, and there is a phase where the dog must bite. So with this dog, we are teaching him to transition drives. So you will see a portion where I'm asking for the barking, and you'll see portions where I want the dog to transition into a prey drive and bite the sleeve full, hard, and strong. So with this dog, he is a more defensive dog, as many Mollisers, Mastiffs, and Presa are. So we are bringing the power in from the aggression. So here you see I asked the handler to just lift up on the harness and the collar, and usually it causes the dog to let go. At that point, I'm stimulating the dog in his aggression, and he's coming forward there. And now I'm saying, you must bark at me. Forget the sleeve. You're going to bark right at me. Now he barks at the sleeve. Up, I catch him on the head a little bit there, and he looks up. I reward him by backing off, and then I come in again and I challenge him. And I'm showing him these different pictures. When you bark strongly at me, I go away, or I transition into prey. So here he's never bitten my apron before. And what I'm teaching him is that there is more than one possibility to bite other than the sleeve. A lot of dogs only know, especially IGP dogs, they only know that they can bite the sleeve. They have never bitten anything else. So of course it's never occurred to them that they can bite other things. So with a lot of these dogs, showing them that there's more than one thing to bite can start to bring a lot of power, because now the dog perceives more options. So again, I show him the sleeve. You see I make a lot of misses, a lot of movement with the sleeve, and I want the dog quiet. There you go. Now I transition with the whip crack and the removal of the sleeve and more presence, and the dog barks nicely. Again, back to the prey. And again, those movements are so important, those misses, because what it brings is it really prays the dog out, and then you can hear the sound when the dog hits the sleeve, that talk noise. And that's how you know that the dog's hitting with all his strength and all his potential. And those drive transitions, especially when you work, so right there you can see the dog's grip got a little bit shaky, which is a common problem in the Presa. Though what I'm doing here is I'm just basically making the prey become active until he fills his mouth and clamps down, at which point I reward him by becoming a little bit more passive. Anyways, with Presa, if you don't bring them through the defense, oftentimes, unless you have the rare Presa that is extremely prey-driven, oftentimes what you're going to have is a dog who is not complete in the bite work. You're going to have a dog who, while they may look good in certain situations when it's all a prey picture, the second anything stimulates their defense or their aggression, the dog will fall apart and will no longer be able to bite. So instead, we're going to the place that he is strongest, which is the defensive aggression, and then from there, we're teaching him to channel all that arousal into the prey biting. So again, you see there, channeling, go for the sleeve. When you see this, when you see the option to bite, take it up, and now you must become aggressive again, right? So this is the beginning where you're showing the dog the different transitions. You're showing him the prey transition and the defensive transition, and then after a while you start melding the two, and the dog is able to switch and channel his drives into strong gripping and strong guarding.